Well, good evening, Rando fans. My name's Dante, and I'm a very special person here in Drawsy. How you doing?
Hello. I was waiting for that lovely fanfare to finish, but we've got a really exciting race here for you tonight. A Game 5 with the winner advancing to the finals.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake here. If you care about the league, there's a lot at stake. Megawatt and azder playing this heavy hitting Game 5. Obviously, Megawatt doing it for fear tonight. I think we all do it for fear, and making him approve of what we do. But azder's no slouch either. These guys, obviously they're in top 4 teams for a reason. Shacktools has managed to give Findrana their first 2 losses now of the entire season, including the regular season and playoffs. So, buckle up. I think this is going to be super exciting.
Now, the interesting thing about those 2 losses is both of them were at the hands of Aussie, and by league rules, the runner who races Game 4 is not allowed to race Game 5, so they couldn't trot out Aussie a 3rd time for this. so they're going to have to rely on someone else. And azder's hoping for the best here.
They, you can't rely on one person, and that's kind of why the league rules are balanced as they are. Not saying the Shacktools is doing that. These guys have put on a heck of a show all season. They've all been doing their part, so it's just how this particular series has played out. But man, this is going to be a wild match. Randomizer, swordless, all dungeons and keys. This is quite the task here as we get started.
Yeah. Now the Randomizer is only boss Randomizer, so that's going to be kind of interesting. That was actually a setting chosen by Sahasrabot. And
interesting.
We don't really have anything useful in Link's house. It's all dungeons anyway, so maps are a whole lot less important than they would be otherwise.
Yeah, you don't. The only thing that could really be useful for is finding your green pendant. Maybe trying to figure out some logic down the line where you've got pendant progression inside of Ganon's tower by chance, and you need all 7 crystals. But at that point, you're kind of going to know that you've got these crystals or whatnot. But since it's standard mode, we've got a nice boring escape. And I guess the Cane of Burna makes it a little more exciting.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wouldn't call a Burna start boring. I haven't seen one of these in quite a while.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. And I see that azder has already gotten a bomb drop and replenished some, opting to not replenish his magic. That's actually good. With no boot start here, they're going to want to, pray basically a bomb drops. And they do have the bomb prize pack, so that's good. But, without the boots, you have to get a bomb to check the stuff in the back unless you just want to, leave it or come back with a glove later.
And that also means you don't have the luxury of actually being able to use those bombs to kill enemies in the meantime until you get, several drops. Because you want to make sure you have at least one for the back of escape. And honestly, you really want to have several so that you don't have to deal with buying bombs in Kakariko, because we don't know how generous the seed's going to be with rupees. Oh, and as I say that, they get enough money to buy bombs in Kakariko.
This seed just already doesn't like you, Drosy, I think is the thing. It just, whatever you had in mind for it, it's going to, clap back against whatever you say.
It does seem that way. Well, we have a few more checks. One of them is going to have to be the sewer's key.
Yeah. Thank God they actually, wrote the logic so you can actually get through here and, okay, azder actually getting a 2nd drop. That's good for him. Kind of hoping that it's going to be even through here and Megawatt gets one as well. That would obviously be really nice to have.
Yeah, fortunately he has plenty of chance for that, but since he hasn't gotten any drops, he doesn't even know that the guards are on the correct prize pack.
Yeah, and you see the magic bar there. It's lower obviously on azder's side because he did those first couple guards, but there are 3 pots here. I wonder if Megawatt's going to actually kill this guard. It doesn't look like he is unless he does it on his way out.
Whereas
And
after knowing the prize
Azder's
pack,
having a bad day with this green guard, not cooperating at all. All right, so let's see if Azder actually knows what to do here. Okay, saving and quitting is a viable option. That or taking a death, either one. After you've gotten the princess, you're going to get a little bit of magic back. And that way it ensures that you're not going to be like soft logged in here.
I didn't realize it only gave you a quarter of your magic back. I'd never tried that, but I always thought it gave you like a full refill if you did that. That's interesting to know.
Yeah, it's only just a little bit. That way you can't really abuse it per se. But the idea, obviously, is if you also get bombs as your starting item, it would give you 3. It wouldn't give you another 10 pack. Otherwise, that would be so easy to abuse and just, get 10 bombs back.
Yeah, well, I know if you die on the way to Zelda's cell before you rescue Zelda, then it does give you a full refill because you're effectively starting back by Uncle. I mean, yeah, it's the entrance to escape, but...
Yeah.
I mean, it's more or less by Uncle.
I gotta say, I do like this palette shuffle we got over on Asder's screen. We got the Mountain Dew version of Hyrule Castle. It's a nice tint it has on it.
So Megawott,
all right, so Megawott, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say he's really saving his magic there. Doesn't want to waste it on any of those enemies, even if they might have a prize pack.
You mean, honestly, like, it's not the end of the world for Megawatt here, obviously. Now, this is good. Well, he's getting a magic refill out of that. I guess those are on a different prize pack drop than the guards. I always forget that, and I always have to look it up when I'm, trying to reference it, but now we know.
By the way, to address chat, this is normal item pool.
Yeah, nothing crazy here today. Just swordless Randomizer, no big deal. Yeah, like I was saying, it's not that big of a deal that Megawatt doesn't have a bomb here, unless there's like some major progression. But then again, it's AD. It's going to be a really long seed, and keys as well. He's going to find a glove, and be able to come back. So it's not a huge time loss.
Yeah, I was just thinking, with all that magic he has, I'm surprised he didn't at least try killing a few more rats.
Well, that's the thing. As we see a key there and get for Ganon's tower. Yeah, nothing super major there in the back of Escape. So, it's nice for Azder. He doesn't have to come back. But yeah, so that's kind of the thing with the prize packs. And this works throughout the game. But the rats, if they're going to drop magic, I think that particular magic prize pack does not have bombs in it. So, he could kill 1,000 of them and he'll never get a bomb drop.
Yeah, I never remember how each of the prize packs begin. I mean, obviously the guard prize pack starts with a bomb, so that makes it really obvious, but I never remember the others.
All right, that looks like our tier 3 treat pull, I believe, and it's $80. So Megawatt making use of that. Azder leaving Escape, the Sanctuary, what have you. Going to be following right behind Flippers in the Lost Woods, and without bombs, Megawatt's going to take a save and quit. Probably going to go to Kakariko from the south.
Makes sense. And once he gets those gloves, that'll put him really close to Zora money. As you can see, Azder is already most of the way there.
Yeah. We'll probably see Zora today at some point. I mean, it's 80 keys without a sword. So...
and Megawatt successfully farmed the... Well, you were going to say the same thing, but yeah, the bomb under the bush there.
Yeah, it's always nice when you get that first try and you don't have to constantly screen swap back and forth. I always feel like, if I'm in a restreamed race, that Twitch just hates watching me do that constantly. But there we go, Fire Rod. That's going to be something we're going to need today over on that race game. Unfortunately, Megawatt only has 1 bomb, so he's going to have to use it here. But he does have enough money to, buy some more down the line.
And coming into Kakariko from the south, it's a better routing to the bomb shop anyway.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, so Azder getting a mushroom.
Yeah, that's interesting. We don't have the flute, and it's a... I mean, I guess with the flippers, it's not actually that bad to do the mushroom turn-in.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Given this is keys, if it's not anything of progression or a necessity, it would be interesting to see if they're going to end up, potentially save scumming that. Looks like library is also garbage, just $20. So once Azder checks that, that'll be the last time we have to look at that room.
And meanwhile, Azder is giving us Chicken Hut here. We have not yet seen Blinds or the Well. That our second GT key?
It is. GT is getting all kinds of in logic, but we need 7 crystals first, right?
And we kind of hope we're in go mode by the time we hit GT. By no means guaranteed. I mean, very easily if Turtle Rock turns out to be a pendant, there could be an Ice Rod in GT. If Swamp's a pendant, there could be a mirror in GT. It always does rude stuff like that.
Yeah, it seems to have, it kind of bites back sometimes like that.
Whoa. So Thieves Town big, Thieves Town small, and a glove. If we get Dark World access via hammer, we can full clear Thieves.
That we could. Now keeping in mind, boss Randomizer. So can we kill the boss? That's kind of the big thing here. Obviously you do want to go ahead and, clear out as many items as you can, but you want to do it effectively. And we kind of glanced over this, but we did get that Castle Tower small, the first one of 2. There's a flute and a Desert Palace big. Blind's Hut kind of loaded for our runners tonight. And the amazing compass of the Tower of Hera.
So now it becomes really easy to save scum that mushroom if the runners want to.
Yeah, you were talking about that flute. Look at that, 2 compasses. Blind's Hut, 10 out of 10 today.
Yeah, always nice to get it when you don't have to then take a trip back to CAC to activate it.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so Azder is activating his flute, which is a good thing. It's very easy for some people to forget to activate it, when you get it early by chance. But luckily, that was kind of the last check here, or Blind's Hut was, so obviously not forgetting. Let's see. Megawatt's going to obviously do it. Megawatt was actually in a really good spot there. If flute didn't come up, we could save a couple screen transitions. He could have just saved and quit out of the bottom, but you got to activate the flute,
But then he can immediately flute off because he's already done these checks that Azder's now doing.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we've got a couple checks on the mountain. We can view or get one logically. We can view one. We could get one illogically. South Shore is still a viable option. With flute, a lot of runners like to go to Agena. Azder's taking a peek, seeing that fire rod, so he's going to head out and go get that. Meanwhile, we'll see where Megawatt is off to.
Oh, he's not even trying the save scum. He is just going straight to mushroom turn-in.
Yeah, he doesn't even care. So, in keys, there's a really good chance this is going to be some kind of progression that you're going to need.
The logic thinks we need it.
Yeah, logically, yes. We say that a lot, but it's definitely not something you have to have. All right, so bomb's just there on the desert ledge. Nothing of value there unless we find ourselves in a tight spot. Megawatt going to give us the Agena's Cave check. Meanwhile, Azder heading to the normal South Shore play here at the dam. We'll get some new checks on both sides at the same time.
Getting that one Skull Woods key does make routing Skull Woods a bit easier.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's our first bottle, so with the flute, it's pretty easy to go back and check Sick Kid whenever we want. but I think Megawatt's doing Back of Escape now since he skipped it earlier.
Yeah, this makes sense. Nice bush crab today, dropping the full magic there. Until we find that hammer, all of our, offensive resources are very limited. So anything we can get to, bolster that is obviously super nice. Oh, baby, another one. Incredible.
At that point, I can see why Azder is just, like, firing off like crazy. Oh, there's another refill sitting there. I'll just grab it after I've fired as many shots as I want. Another Podkey and Quake.
Those are always nice. Ideally, you kind of want 5 Podkeys to show up just to make it not miserable to route. Megawatt doing that bottle turn in that you were mentioning, Drosy, but just a single rupee. So nothing of major value.
I mean, Sick Kid is even more impoverished than usual if that's all he's got in his piggy bank today.
Yeah, poor lazy kid. All right, so this is the Saha play. We can get some green pendant info. I'm not sure if Azder will be talking to him. Half magic, that's nice. Small key to Mire, and there's our moon pearls. So 2/3 of the way to Dark World access as we stand right now.
And Azder doesn't want to know where that green pendant is, apparently.
I mean, it's all dungeons. I don't blame him. I mean, I do blame him, but I don't blame him.
I mean, kind of useful to know before it just happens to turn up, because you can, if you have multiple dungeons to go to, you can give the green pendant a bit of preferential treatment, knowing that it'll get you an extra item.
All right, so Megawatt not having a good time here with these Moldorms, or at least that one in particular.
Now, Azder didn't go to Ice Rod Cave, so it'll be interesting to see if Megawatt flutes to 8 before he flutes over to, like, 5.
All right, so Azder fluting away to 2. This is going to be that mushroom turn-in play. And Megawatt going to be making that Ice Rod play like you were talking about.
So now we'll see if this is going to be a little waste of time or if Azder left something important behind. And Megawatt, oh no! I was just about to say, watch out for the sand crabs, and look what happens.
No crab rave today. That was unfortunate. Those things, they bite really hard, and it never feels good when that happens, but man, they hit for so much at the start. Megawatt not heading back there, maybe going to put it off for later. We'll see if Azder decides to go there. Does not. But, this is going to be a straight Eastern Palace play here from Megawatt, which Azder kind of skipped over while going to Saha.
Now, with overworld enemies not being shuffled, Eastern Palace is still bow-locked in the back, and we don't have the big key anyway.
Right. Oh, I totally forgot. We've got flippers, so I guess Azder's gonna go check out Hobo and maybe like the Zora area stuff for us.
Oh, so there's a sword on Lake Hylia Island, as we can tell by the green 20.
Yeah, you gotta love that. A sword's only worth $20. All right, what does the guy under the bridge have for us today? Piece of heart. Nothing of major value. I don't know. I mean, Megawatt might could have used that a little while ago, but
So far, nothing good in Eastern. Oh, I'm sure Megawatt will be happy to see the half magic when he gets out and checks Sahasra's closet.
Yeah. All right, now Azder dealing with the crabs here as well is able to take one hit from them and be fine. Manages to get around them no problem. This is a lime green cave. I love this. Oh, it's a mirror.
Megawatt
That's
better go
big.
back for it. Yeah.
That's pretty big. That's good if you're in the Shack Tool camp. Megawatt's going to run out of things to check eventually, and the game's going to push him back there. So, but yeah, this opens up a decent bit of, I guess, a couple of checks in Hera. But until we get a big key for Hera or a hook shot, there's no way we're getting to that boss.
And is that Azder doing like echolocation to find his way through Death Mountain Cave?
Yeah, some people, legends tell that if you just, spam the flute, you move faster. Similar to the book. Not really the case, though. And unfortunately, Azder down to 1 heart. Gonna have to be a little careful here. And making use of the blue cane and half magic combo, able to kind of see his location.
And that's going to do it for Eastern for Megawatt. Really didn't get anything there. He'll Death Warp, so presumably he's setting up the visit to Sahasrala now.
Yeah, luckily for Megawatt here, nothing here is going to make Eastern any better for him. So the fact that he did that first isn't really a punishing play for him. All right, will he talk to Saha? Yes, he will. And Swamp Palace is our green pendant for today.
Yeah, so Megawatt's got his flute out. Is he going to do Death Mountain, or is he going to go back and check Ice Rod Cave? I hope the latter.
All right, just a map up there on Spec Rock. Oh, a bow. That's a nifty find.
Yeah, it doesn't immediately get us anything, but certainly something we're absolutely going to have. In fact, since this is swordless, we're absolutely going to need 2 of them.
Yeah, having the bow, in swordless, like pre-hammer, is kind of a nice tool. I mean, I know they've got half magic, but I feel like you'll run out of arrows much less as far as like how quick you run out than you would magic. But there's the mirror for Megawatt. So, crisis for Phendrana averted.
I mean, progression, does it pretty much have to be in the map chest here? I don't see what else we have.
Well, we haven't seen the Zora area.
Oh,
all we've
right.
seen is Hobo. So Azder didn't have 500, so I can't say I blame him for putting it off, but considering we just got 2 checks there, that's pretty much it. He's going to have to leave and probably do the same checks Megawatt's doing now.
So Megawatt's still 17 rupees short, but I have to imagine he'll just try to farm them if they don't show up in Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have anything to stun enemies with, so we don't know our stun prize just yet.
Oh, and Megawatt is following Azder up the mountain for all that, using bombs as his, like, Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb trail.
Also, Azder probably going to make the same play into Eastern Palace now.
So they are both hard last locationing whatever is in those flippers checks. As you mentioned, that's the only thing left.
Yeah, a lot of times you may see people hedge their bets that, you're going to get 20 rupees. Like in Megawatt's case, he only needs 16. Azder does need a little more, so he'd need like a 50 pack plus a couple extra. I think there were some rupees. There might have been some rupees here in Eastern, so he may, catch Megawatt on that front. And chat pointing out a good thing. I don't believe you can use the money room in Eastern because I think that's locked, and it is. Yeah, it's locked behind that big key. So unable to do that until we find that.
I mean, with Megawatt needing so little, I'd probably just flute to 3 and do Blind's Hut. Azder would probably have to flute to 6 and do that thief near the desert.
A money farming seed just sounds terrible. I'm pretty sure progression is going to be inside of like Waterfall Fury. You know, it's not going to be something. It's not going to be Zora. You know, it's not.
Or I guess you can always, save and quit to Sank and Houlihan from there.
That just takes so long. It doesn't really, but it just feels like it takes so long.
But then if your Dark World access shows up, suddenly you have pod money. And money for the various games in Thieves Town.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. But at the same time, like I said, it just feels slow. All right, Megawatt's about to get his bow. And I guess he's going to see the unfortunate truth of, I guess I got to go to the Zora area. You watch, I'm calling this. If progression's on Zora, we're going to get at least $20 inside Waterfall Fury.
Probably. So where's Megawott gonna flute to? Is he just gonna try to farm up some rupees near Zora?
I guess not.
No.
We're going. Well, this is actually smart. Okay, so Megawatt's making a very heads-up play. There are 20 guaranteed rupees in here, and it's one screen transition, so it's not too bad. Having to do like say Blind's Hut, that's kind of bad. But being able to get a quick 20. I respect this play. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I guess for Blind's Hut, it's one extra screen transition, even though you get 30 out of it.
Well, if you time it, going down a staircase takes 4 seconds. That's a long time. Especially if you're going to walk out and, flute away.
Oh, now look at Azder. He's just hoping 50 are going to turn up.
I mean, this is the... I think in Azder's shoes, you have to hope for this. I'm trying to figure out where the rupee difference is. Oh, look, there's $50.
Oh, of course there is.
Bailed out. We're here all night. It's AD keys. All right, so speaking of keys, there's a small one. Interesting. I'm wondering if that is going to be... that's going to be our Hera small.
Oh,
that would be kind of bad.
Don't say such things. Don't even think such things.
Well, depending on what's here on Zora, it really... obviously, it just depends, but... that key could be Hera and leading to something, or we could just get a nice hammer on Zora. We've seen this in many tournaments before. You gotta love to see it. There it is. I guess we got Dark World access, and this key's probably another Meyer or Skull Woods key, like something we don't need.
Oh, something we do need. Eventually. Not anytime soon.
All right, so the whole world's wide open, guys. Here we go. Is there going to be more divergence? Or are we just going to, do the same exact thing?
Well, Megawatt's clearly doing Hype Cave here, and Azder probably isn't. No, he's going for CAC Portal.
All right, we've got divergence. I like it. All right, and Megawatt will actually, I don't know if he will, but he will be able to go chat with our bomb vendor guy and see what our 5/6s are.
Fear is reminding us that we do need to thank Solsky for that hammer.
I think a lot of chat was reminding us about that, but I was kind of just letting it ride.
And Hype Cave is Gripe Cave.
Yeah, thanks for that Hype Cave, Drosy. All right, Megawatt is going to give us that info. We can fill in stuff on the tracker. Speaking of the tracker, Bandman's doing the tracking for us tonight. Big thanks to Bandman.
Yeah, so here we go back to what I was saying about, Houlihan would have given extra money. Megawatt doesn't need to worry about that so much because he did get that 50 out of Waterfall, but Azder wasn't able to do Chest Game because that's 30 rupees?
Yeah, that always feels bad. It's not the biggest, problem, but another small key here on Stumpy for Ice. That makes Ice a little neater to route once we get there.
Now it's interesting. Assuming the boss isn't Trinex or Argus, we can full clear Thieves Town, we can full clear Skull Woods. That was our third Skull Woods key that we've now seen, so the game even has it fully in logic.
Yeah, the only thing we would leave in Skull Woods is that big chest, which is always bad and feels bad when you find the single arrow there, but also when you find the Skull Woods big key many minutes after you've already full cleared the whole place.
Now, Azder will probably directly check what the boss is from here, and if it's something he can't beat, he can always just mirror out.
Yeah, and Megawatt not having any money either, so also, I'm kind of surprised he didn't just go to the arrow game. You could do that one or two times. Maybe hedging his bets. Looks like we got Armos inside of Thieves Town. That's easy balls.
So I guess Megawatt is just figuring that he can get enough money through Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town.
Probably. There's a decent possibility that once he does chess game, that first chest likes to be 100 rupees sometimes, and that's not your item. It's just like a random pull.
Though Azder did not find any money in Thieves Town, though he didn't do the back.
Ooh. I like that play. I mean, it's in a miser. You'd never want to go to the back.
Yeah.
Unless you absolutely have to. I'll be interested to see if Megawatt clears that.
I'm gonna guess he won't either. Okay,
look, I called it. There was $100. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
$100. It happens more often than not. Look, when I need it to be that, it's like a single rupee. But luckily, it worked out for Megawatt.
So, Azder's probably going to do Skull Woods at this point?
I mean, it makes sense. You get a decent chunk of health here. And, Hammer, Fire Rod with half magic. You do have a safety just in case with that blue cane. And I do believe they've got that red goo. No reason, really, for runners in the Invitational League to be putting off Skull Woods at this point. I wouldn't think, unless they just really want to go somewhere else. Maybe if 5 pod keys showed up magically.
Well, there's that money Azder was looking for.
Yeah, most likely he'll be coming back to Thieves, the Thieves area, or Village of Outcasts as it actually is called. And he'll be able to check chess game later.
Always nice to roast some Gibdos.
It just takes forever for them to burn up, man. They're just so big and bulky.
Yeah, I do find it funny that, the game design makes it so that if you have Gibdos in a kill room, the room won't actually unlock until the Gibdo finishes burning.
Well, that's pretty much any enemy. All right, so Megawatt heading to the back here, gonna get his key, and he's going to the back. So this, everyone get on the edge of your seat. This is a little bit of a turning point, depending on how much progression's in Skull Woods.
Yeah, if we find something big back here, that could totally change the game.
Speaking of big, that's a Desert Palace small. That makes that dungeon fully clearable once we get the mitts or a book, one or the other. I say fully clearable. We need boots for the torch, but key sanity most times that's not anything.
Watch it be a big key on the torch.
Nah, probably not today. I'm feeling it. All right, so
oh no, Megawatt's forgotten that he doesn't need to bomb that Randomizer.
Look, it's really hard. Look, listen, it's hard to go in that room and not bomb open the thing and not open that chest. Like when you go in there in go mode by chance, $20 there in the back of Skullwoods for Azder, so he's headed to the boss to see if he can kill it. But yeah, it's muscle memory. That room is so... It's just the same thing over and over every time. It's almost impossible to not bomb it open.
Just like all the runners who'll do Icebreaker and then still pull the tongue on the statue in the next room.
Yeah. Once you do that once or twice, you kind of learn. Enough people make fun of you or something, and and then you feel bad and you finally remember.
Well, Megawatt's about to see there's no maiden here.
Oh no, where has she gone? All right, can we kill the boss? We can. We got helicopter, guys. I know this is what chat always wants. You finally get it.
I haven't seen a helicopter all season. Oh, bye, Vanilla.
The mitts are back here.
Vanilla mitts show up more often than they have any right to.
Oh, that is bad for Shack Tools. But I mean, he's running out of things to do.
I mean, he's got pod. He can't do it all the way without the big key, but he can do a lot of pod if he wants.
I mean, we got 2 keys? I mean, we could. All right, so Megawatt finishing off Armos Knights, getting his first crystal. Helmacopter going bonkers over here for you guys. Chat doesn't look as excited as I think it normally would for this, but there it is. Azder doing a good job finishing that off. We'll see if this is a pendant or a crystal. Just a heart piece on the boss itself, but it is a crystal, so that's always nice.
Yeah, and we now know that we do have access to desert. We don't know whether that's maybe even our 3rd crystal, but yeah, to have several clearable dungeons this early in a key sanity is pretty nice. And looks like Megawatt's gonna do the Smith chain before he does anything else.
Nah, he's gonna go do Dig Game because he totally couldn't pay for that earlier.
Right, but I think he's then going to grab the Smith after that. I don't think he's going to immediately go into Skull Woods.
Yeah, you're right. And it makes total sense to do that, I think. All right, so Dig Game, something Azder hasn't done. This is actually a new check for us. This could be nice. It could just be $20. It could just be 1,000 digs. It's a map. We don't even care.
Just get off the screen before time runs out.
Yeah, that's another one of those things that just feels like it takes forever when those text boxes pop up. But Azder getting his not so hype cave.
So yeah, we can do everything here. We can do hammer pegs, we can do magic bat.
Yeah, this routed out really nice and neat for these guys. Obviously, Azder needs to get the mitts to be able to do it, but shortly after, You always like to not have to leave Magic Bat behind.
What do you know? Vanilla hammer pegs.
I'm bad. I don't even remember what vanilla is. Who checks that in vanilla?
What? If you're doing 100%, everyone.
I guess that's true. All right, so what's our Smith got for us? It's a key to Meyer. That's something.
Blah.
I mean, it makes things kind of neat, but just like that ice key, it's nice to have. Just not required.
We already had one. What does the second one imply? If we get the third, then it implies that there's something firelocked.
Yeah, I guess that is true. Now get your cat jams in chat here as Azder giving us the digging game and its amazing soundtrack that goes with it. Azder gonna pick the map up, so we'll see. That's desert.
So we haven't seen our swamp small. That would be interesting if it showed up, because then we'd be able to do the front half of swamp.
All right, so full Smith chain, all garbage. And just kind of like you called it, Azder's got pod money now, so here he goes.
And Megawatt, unfortunately, is probably going to go into desert without that small key, so he'll do the back. He can do the boss as long as it's not Argus or Trinex. I kind of missed what that medallion was.
All right, just a boomerang there, but our tracker is paying attention, unlike me and Drosy, and it's Ether, so we'll still need to hunt down a medallion.
See, now this is a little bit of a time sink on Megawatt's part, that if he had gone into Skull Woods, he'd have the small key and could just full clear this. And when Azder gets here, he'll probably do that.
Yeah, I mean, this, again, just depends on what shows up where. But, oh, hello, there's some boots. That's a good find.
And
let's see what's on the torch. You said it could be a big key. I said it wasn't, and I was right. That was a little easier bet, though.
I mean, you've got this seed figured out with $100 and chest game and everything.
Oh, it was just a happy accident.
Oh, so Megawatt is not going to do the back. Interesting.
I kind of feel like if he doesn't do it, this is him waiting for that small key, because logically you have to have it. The other thing could be, with him not knowing where that is, there is a possibility he could steal the small key, take a death, and, scum it, just to check what's on the right side. But he's fluting away, so I guess we'll check that out later.
And with that flute to 3, I'd say he's going to do Skull Woods now, and he will get that small key. And hey, there's the GT Big Key in pod. If you guessed minus 73, you're right.
I didn't. I got that one wrong. I never said where it would be, but I was still wrong. All right, so more pod stuff. I didn't see anything of value really pop up for Azder. Which, like, I was kind of thinking something that could bail Azder out would be if Boots showed up here, but then they showed up on the big key. Okay, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, you gotta not use that last small key so that you can get to the boss. But I think if you're here and you just got that big key, you do the boss.
It's a really tough situation with Boss Randomizer, though. I mean, Trinex can be in that room. We don't have everything that we need yet to kill every boss. We still need a hook and we need an ice rod to be able to be in full boss mode, I guess you could say.
Well, he's going to try the hammer jump here.
Very nice.
And gets it.
Megawott having a little bit of trouble here with these Gibdos. And another dark room here for these guys. We'll see 20 bucks in that first chest. There's the Desert Small for Megawatt.
So now he knows he can safely do the back of Desert without having to save scum. And hey, at least with those boots, he can get around Desert pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Azder opening up the front door in Pod.
Now, that's interesting. I mean...
I'm a little puzzled at that. But, I mean, I don't know if I go dive the boss here personally. Like, I think this is a good decision, maybe, you know, for him to not do it. It's a long walk around that second side, or that right side.
And none of this is in logic anyway. I mean, that front stuff was, but...
Yeah.
The back wasn't.
All right, so Azder getting Pod Big and GT Big out of there. Oh, yeah, we got Hammer. So this does open up the mountain. There's going to be a lot of checks here. So this makes total sense. Eventually, the seed is going to push Azder back to those mids. But depending on what type of progression he gets, there's going to be things that he can do.
I mean, he's
time.
He's only got Spiral Cave and Paradox Cave here without the mitts.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of checks over there. It's just like 2 locations, and unfortunately, it's a really slow way to get to it. But Helmicopter round 2 for you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying it. That tail is doing its best.
We have liftoff.
Yeah, it's doing its best. This room sucks. I'm sorry. It just does. When you don't have a sword and you gotta use the bow, it's just it's not fun. It is, but it's not.
Wow, this battle's taking a while. Megawatt's starting to run low on arrows.
Yeah, timing this is a little different than like you're used to, because he's going to move for 1, but he gets it done with 1 left and uses his last one. Nicely done.
And meanwhile, did you see what we had in Spiral Cave?
I missed that.
That was our lamp.
Okay. Well then, we can see. That's nice. I enjoy being able to see. I don't know about you though, Drosy. Sometimes it's, you know.
So is our second Agate Tower chest in logic without the lamp and just with the fire rod? I never remember.
No, it's not. So you do have to have a lamp to get that. And that means both checks in Agate Tower are available and open to us with our nice little hammer and our lamp and our Castle Tower Small. Speaking of Castle Tower, there's the second one. We could go ahead and knock this thing out.
And Megawatt with his boots can even check Lumberjack here. And there's our Swamp Small, so we now have the access to the front of Swamp.
Oh, man. You don't like having access to Swamp before Hook and Keys. It just never feels good.
And Megawatt did not check Lumberjack while he was up there. He also didn't check Bonk Rocks when he just went through there. I think he just realized that.
Yeah, this is oh crap, I realize what I have done. Every runner's been here at this point or another. Azder, I think, realizing, unfortunately for him, that it is back at Thieves. So here we go. Back to Village of Outcasts area. I'm actually excited that this run is not going to come down to where's the CT Smalls, because I feel like that is, I mean, we could still be where's the ice rod, but it's like having more and more ice rods added upon us in the pool.
Are we allowed to have an AD Keys seed that doesn't come down to, where's the CT Small? Like has someone talked to Sahasrabot about this seed?
I think he's found the error of his ways, but here we are. $300, Graveyard Ledge, nothing of value there. Megawatt, for being poor earlier, these guys are pretty loaded.
Well, he also grabbed 300 out of Checkerboard because he figured, the extra money probably wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Catfish next for Megawatt?
It's possible. There's another GT Small. If he goes back in his portal, then yeah, Catfish seems like a decent play, but it's tough to say. He's got the mountain open to him as well, but without the hook, you kind of want to wait until you have the hook for Hookshot Cave just to do everything. We've only got one TR Small and no Cane, so there's no value in going there just yet. But you were absolutely right. Here's Catfish coming up in a few screens. As Megawatt does Catfish, Azder will be getting the mitts.
And it looks like he's not going to Death Mountain because he's planning to mirror. If he were doing Death Mountain, he'd just save and quit.
That is also possible. Only $5 there at Catfish. No value.
Oh, is Megawatt doing ice? No?
I think he thought about it. And then he might have remembered that this is Ball Shuffle, and it's really, really hard to make the play to go into Ice Palace with Ball Shuffle when you're not able to kill all the bosses. I mean, sometimes it pays off to do it, but I respect the putting it off just because of that unknown variable. Ice Palace does take a long time to go through a second time, especially if you have to do it to get Cane later.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you have Cane and can do Icebreaker, then it's a lot faster and you don't really need to worry. But at this stage without Cane, yeah, I agree. You don't want to risk having to do it twice.
All right, so here we go. Mitts for Azder in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, he paused. He got me. There it is. All right, we are going to get some new info here over on Megawatt's side. Opening up the TR portal, we'll be able to find out what our lovely medallion is, which it's Ether.
So we got a double Ether day.
At least we don't need Bombos. I mean, we've already got Fire Rod, so
And nothing doing with Hookshot Cave today.
Yeah, unfortunately, no value to be had. Did Megawott do? Okay, he did not. I was like, did he do Super Bunny?
No, he was just checking. He was checking the floating island to be absolutely sure before he abandoned hook shot.
That makes sense.
Super Bunny's a bust.
All right, there's our small key to Meyer on the Smiths. And Megawatt going to be doing Spiral Cave. Going to get his fancy lamp, allowing us to see and stuff. I do approve of that item.
So just chatting with chat here, I realized from what you were saying about Ice Palace, this being swordless, Cold Stare has to be vanilla.
Yeah. Oh. Absolutely.
And can only be vanilla.
You know, you're not wrong. Especially with the shuffle, idea here. So yeah, I kind of feel like you gotta. It's time. I think it's time. These guys just need to hedge their bets. Head to Ice Palace.
Maybe we'll even get a French vanilla blue mail on the way.
I mean, we've already got a blue mail on Azder's side. I think that came out of pod.
I missed that.
Our tracker didn't. Bandman coming in hot, helping us out here.
And now Megawatt's really gonna wonder why he didn't check Lumberjack when he was in the neighborhood.
I mean, I get it. You don't really want to check it until you absolutely have to. And now that it's there, it does, it becomes viable. We'll see if he decides to check it. He may just, I don't know, we may see the Castle Tower play it. I don't really feel like that's what's going to happen, though.
He's getting potions for something. Maybe he's planning to do ice.
Nah, we're not going to ice.
Nope. Well,
right,
we'll
so
see
boots.
We'll see what Megawatt does with that big key when he gets it.
Yeah, routing could change things a little bit here. It just really depends on how risky you want to be. Pod is another one of those dungeons that takes a pretty decent amount of time just to traverse to the back. So with the fact of ball shuffle, you may not want to, like I said about ice, and until we had our revelation, you may not want to hedge your bets on taking that amount of time to go there.
So, new checks on right side desert. Just a fairy and a bottle so far. And another sword.
All right, there's that blue mail in shooter chest. All right, Megawatt opening the front door. Like, from the get-go.
Well, I mean, he doesn't know that the big key's in the back.
He doesn't. Absolutely.
I mean, I wonder what he's going to think when he gets it.
All right, just one more room before Azder tells us or shows us what the boss is here. This may be another reason why Megawatt put this off. the whole boss thing we were talking about, like with Pod. It's blind, so this is a beatable boss.
And that cane of burner coming in handy.
Yeah, blind is much harder in Boss Shuffle, just because there's no script, and he's way up top, and it's a bad day. But now that he's come on down, blue cane and all, taking him down. Just a piece of heart on the boss, but we're going to get our dungeon prize. It's another crystal. That's going to bring Azder's count up to 3. Megawatt's still sitting at 2, has done more checks. I mean, this looks like AD keys. Speaking of keys, there's a big key. We've seen that one already, but big key to Pod.
So I'm guessing Megawatt will do Hammer Yump. He's out of keys. There's nothing else he can do in this dungeon. And what's next for Azder? Castle Tower? Front of Swamp? Ice?
I'm feeling the ice play, and it's not just because people in chat were yelling for it. I'm really feeling that ice play just based off what we've got. And here we go. Looks like Azder is taking the plunge into the Mountain Dew and heading to Ice Palace. I really hope that Ice Palace is super pink because I just love Pepto-Bismol Ice Palace. It's my absolute favorite.
TMI.
Well, it's green.
Is Megawatt gonna join him? No. Megawatt's gonna check Pyramid Ledge?
This could be, Pyramid comboed in with Castle Tower, perhaps?
That is entirely possible. You just mirror from the top and then you don't have to go through the castle to get to the tower. The trade-off, of course, is that the Light World enemies become tougher.
This is the Invitational League, Drosy. These enemies aren't tough. They're vanilla.
And when you're now sitting on red mail, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Megawatt didn't want that key? Or is he going to remember to do it later?
Well, hopefully for his sake he does remember, but that's his intended play. Just because when you beat this, you're going to pop back out on the pyramid. There's no point jumping down to pick it up to have to run back up. He's saving movement this way. It's just, it's heads-up routing. Much respect on that hammer hit there. That was solid. Getting them both in one go and not clinking on a single sword. That was pretty sick.
Chat pointing out that I did call French vanilla mail and ice. I just wasn't expecting them to have already gotten blue at that point and that the mail would be red.
I'm glad that I have passed my gift on to you.
And hey, old school bomb jump just like Mom used to make.
Yeah, it feels like 2018 all over again.
Is that your team next year, the 2018 Titans Mitts of 2018?
Oh, who knows? All right, well, hey, I didn't notice this, but it was really good that Azder got that first try because he was out of bombs. Does get one there for the pin gators, so that's super nice.
Now, of course, what would really make this play pay off for Megawatt is if Kane of Samaria is in Lumberjack. Oh, there's our ice big key, the second French vanilla big key we've seen. and chat, if you want to guess how many blue balls AGA1 will give us today, now's your chance.
I got 20,000 useless points to blow. Let's see what happens.
Oh, shoot, I should have... Oh, yeah. Someone did that.
All right, there's...
Would you believe that as a mod, I'm not allowed to bet?
Yeah, that's usually how it works in these things. Bombos, hey, there we go. That's not required. All right, so we got one blue ball. I'm assuming whomever started that prediction will keep up with the blue balls for us.
I believe it was dear old Adirondack Rick.
Rick, the MVP. Allowing us to restream this race and also starting a prediction. There's two. Azder's going to tell us who the boss is here. There's three.
Cold Stare. We had this discussion.
Oh, I know. I'm just building the suspense. Let me have it.
But the Bombos is nice. Save magic and use Fire Rod on the... Nope, he's just going for the Fire Rod.
Rest in peace, my 20,000 channel points. I'll get them back. All right. Nice hammer AGA1 there from Megawatt.
And Azder is doing a pretty good hammer cold stare too, and with red mail you don't have to worry as much anyway, the puffs just take 2 hearts.
Fairy in a bottle. There's that key on Megawatt's side he did remember, but it wasn't that important, just a Meyer key.
And that's a blue pendant. That is the first pendant we've seen this game.
That it is. All right, so Megawatt's going to go finish up Desert now. My question is going to be, where does Azder go next? I'm wondering if there actually is some form of progression at Lumberjack. And actually, Azder might be checking this for us like right now.
I mean, we got that in front of Swamp, and I think that's about it at this point, yes?
Yeah, we are getting very low on checks. However, Azder does have the opportunity to go to Dark Mountain for, what, 1 check, 2 checks, 3 checks?
3. Well, I mean... 4 if he really wants it. We can do Spike Cave. We have that nice Cane of Burna from the start.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't seen that. Yeah, I kind of feel like Azder is going to check Lumberjack here.
Just to confirm, since our tracker's asking, Ice was the blue pendant.
That it was. All right, so we didn't get a peek, but I guess we're going anyway. Or we're not. Oh, okay. He's gonna try and do the same thing Megawatt did, you think? Oh.
That's
or
our
maybe
first
maybe he just
check.
hedges his... Are we hedging our bets? Are we diving Swamp? That would be insanely crazy. Good idea maybe, but okay. Looks like he's not going there.
So Eastern Hera and Turtle Rock are crystals, which I think by process of elimination means that Pod is our final pendant.
This is a very likely possibility.
Which means that there could be pod keys in GT.
It would be a shame if that was the case and we used all our pod keys. I would be sad.
Well, we only had 2, and it would be kind of ridiculous if there were 4 pod keys in GT.
Yeah, it would. All right, so Azder getting that key now.
Megawatt gets his third crystal, and he's going to ice. Not a surprise. No. Wait, where's he? Oh, he's checking Lumberjack.
Yeah, it's just, this is a nice way to route this in. It's kind of a more commonly seen thing with entrance, especially if like this is the Ganon hole. But alas, this is just a fast way to check Lumberjack. So blind check. What are we gonna have? I'm sure it's some kind of progression. It's gonna be exciting. That's exciting.
I mean, those 3 more holes that we can bomb open are clearly our progression.
I'm thinking swamp. Megawatt's got ice to do, but I think based off of what we've seen from 2 runners, our vantage point is saying swamp, which is gross.
I mean, I can't blame Megawatt for doing ice here. Oh, and he's gonna stock up on capacity.
Oh yeah, there's no reason to not do ice here, especially in AD. You want to do ice well before you dive a non-clearable swamp.
Other than, well, no icebreaker.
I mean, at some point you have to, give up the fact that, we're able to do that. There is the possibility, it's rare. I mean, Hook could be in GT, right? Depending on where Argus shows up. I'm just saying, it's possible. All right, so Megawatt has changed clothes again now, and instead of being kind of purple, he's kind of gold. Kind of looks like the walls in Azder's Agate Tower.
Not too far off. So I guess Azder will have a little bit of a lead coming out of here.
Maybe. I don't know if I'd call it a lead. Megawatt has obviously done more checks. There's the potential. There's the potential Azder goes back to the mountain. I feel that's unlikely, just due to how minimal those checks are. I think I've seen Azder hover before, but I don't know if he wants to like stake his claim on that. Like basically laying it out on the line that progression's going to be in Hookshot Cave or something.
You know what? The joke's gonna be on us in progressions in Spike Cave.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Hookshot could be there.
Ether could be there.
That's absolutely true as well. Still need a Mire Big before we could do anything with that, and we're running kind of low on the Turtle Rock keys as well as Cana Samaria. We're kind of hitting what you could kind of call like a funnel point for the seed, where it opened up for a while, and here we are now where everything's kind of funneling down, and these guys are getting, stuck in doing one thing. They got to do the exact same thing.
Well, how many chests do we have in Swamp? I guess 5, because this is Key Sanity.
All right, there goes Aga 1 for Azder. That's a dungeon.
Oh, and let's not forget Hera Basement. Azder must have picked that up. Megawatt just picked it up there in Spike Room and Ice. So Azder must have gotten it as well.
So yeah, this is a catfish play probably here from Azder. This makes sense. It's not that far of a run from the pyramid. This is kind of, your best opportunity to get it.
Did azder skip Ice Tea Room?
Possibly. Was there something there? I just missed it on Megawatt's side.
It's called the hook shot.
Ooh. That's, I think that's something we need.
That's kind of a big flipping deal, you know. Just saying.
It's a nice find. I mean, I'm not going to count anything out until this race is over. Just because if you watch Shaq Tool's last series that went to 5, it was a barn burner, and it was a nail biter to the very end. So this is probably, unfortunately, going to be a huge time waste for azder. Heading into Swamp without that hook.
But I think Megawatt's got to go into Swamp with the hook after this and just...
Oh, yeah.
Hope it's not Trinex at the end.
Yeah, there's no reason you don't go to Swamp now.
And Megawatt's doing a strategy I would more expect, you know, save magic, you get... Oh, but he's got the hammer out anyway, and it kind of gets away from him.
Timing that hammer hit is not the easiest thing to do with Cold Stare, but manages to corral him in with that fire rod. Only takes 4 per puff. And getting his fairy in a bottle and his blue pendant.
So now in Megawatt's position, do you bother with left side Swamp or do you skip it and hope for the best?
I don't know. This is keys. We've got a lot left. There's a lot of items we need. We need TR keys. We need big keys. Small keys alike. All of them. The best keys that you'll ever find. But if you're one item from Go Mode, I say you skip Swamp left. In this situation, I check it. I think it's... Given how linear this has been in the mid game, I would say you check this.
Makes sense. I mean, we're getting close to item go mode, though even there, I guess we still need Cane and Ice Rod and Ether. So yeah, even if it weren't keys, just being 3 items from go mode. Definitely having a blood tide in azder's Swamp today.
I was going to go back to the whole Pepto-Bismol vibe, but, you know, same thing.
Red algae, it's a natural effect. Hey, there's another TR key. You were saying we were a bit short-handed there.
That we are. Still short-handed, unfortunately.
Well, the 2 keys will get us as far as Mimic Cave, though, if we get the Cane of Samara and Ether.
Yeah, I think if you're pulling for Shack Tools here, you're really hoping that there's not really any progression in front of Swamp. Anything that can funnel azder back to that hook shot is kind of what he's going to need to have any fighting chance at this, I think.
But I have to imagine, you know, he's more likely to do Death Mountain after this, because now he has 5 checks. 2 in Super Bunny Cave, the first chest in Hookshot, Spike Cave, and Hera Basement.
Yeah, definitely more to do now.
Speaking of which, I wonder if Megawatt will do Hera now.
Oh, looks like we are headed to the back. All right. little bit of divergence. He may come back in case Swamp Big shows up. What's on left side? $50. We're going to have a pause there. Place your bookmark. We'll come right back to the left side, the right left side of Swamp.
Yeah, the hard way, like the game intends you to do it. Dairy Queen bombed Diver down from Megawatt, by the way. Okay, we now have we now have full Hera access though from Megawatt. I think he goes back up Death Mountain after this.
Oh yeah, there's no reason to not. He can check out Hookshot Cave. You can full clear Hera. You mentioned Spike Cave. That's another thing we can do. And honestly, unless something shows up on boss to be determined, which is Moldorm, then there's not a whole lot, there's not a whole lot open to us now just from that hookshot.
I want to call him Four-Eye Moldorm, but that would be rude just because he's wearing glasses.
Oh, Ether. So we got stuff open now. And we got our green pendant. So I think, I don't know. We'll see what he does. I'm not playing the seed. They're playing it. But azder headed back up to the Dark Mountain now. azder had skipped a few overworld checks, and it was keeping things close. I guess, now it's probably going to be a hard last location of that hook shot. And
Megawatt. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying, since he's doing that now, that's actually going to give time back to Megawatt that, he invested in doing all those checks. But yeah, I see what you're pointing out here. Megawatt headed over to the Mire area. I can't not say this. This is a Phendrana Drifter staple. The cane is going to show up in Mire.
And the big key?
Yeah, it just happens. It just happens.
So you were expecting a French vanilla big key and a French vanilla cane. I see.
I mean, maybe not both, but the cane's gonna be here. I don't care who you are. If it's a game 5 with Phendrana and it's Key Sanity, the cane's gonna be in Mire. I guarantee it.
You speak as though you know this from experience.
I mean, I don't personally, but I do indirectly.
Your team.
Yeah. All right, so with 3 keys, joking aside here, 3 keys, this is going to make the routing a little less traditional, but this is a really good key route. Here we go, left side first.
Yeah, and with those 3 keys, this is fully in logic. And as I was saying earlier, the fact that 3 keys showed up relatively quickly does make me wonder, okay, Bugnet, that's game.
We can do swag Agastrats now.
I mean, just ask Gamachu about how essential the Bugnet is in Swordless, right? But, yeah. While both of these runners are taking a bit of a break, why don't we pause for station identification and tell you to follow them?
That would be advisable.
They are both really top runners. And I'm sure having fun. I hope you all are having fun watching them. You definitely want to follow them and see more of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's, like we were saying earlier, this is a whole lot on the line here. A spot in finals.
Wow, that was a super clean rail clip, too.
That it was.
Now, if Megawatt just remembered that, he can't open the big chest without the big key.
Another GT small there. I've only got one check left. Yeah, that's all of them. I mean, I'm bound to miss my call, but I couldn't help. It's a thing. Maybe it's because Jet's not playing this seed, but all right, heart piece. So Meyer an entire bust.
Ooh, yeah. Megawatt needs to go up Death Mountain and just get everything. But of course, you know, that's progression for azder. He can now get that crystal out of Eastern, and it's just going to take him farther away from the hook shot.
You say that, but Argus could be here, and then he can't. This is ball shuffle after all, and we haven't seen an Argus yet. We've seen a lot of dungeons.
So who have we seen? We've seen Armos and Moldorm and Helmicopter and Blind and Cold Stare, right?
That we have. And bosses can... three bosses can appear twice with the way the shuffle works.
So no duplicates yet means we don't really have a sense of the implications there. Now, fortunately for us, Argus and Trinex cannot appear in the Moldorm arena. So, well, Megawatt has the hook shot anyway, but Trinex can't be in the Moldorm arena, so Megawatt knows that he can beat the boss here. And there's our third Turtle Rock key.
We finally got our first lovely shield. We can finally have a better defense in front of us. Well then. That's another one of those required keys.
Yeah, it also means a required extra climb of Death Mountain because we had to go up Death Mountain to get that Eastern big key to get the Turtle Rock big key.
Absolutely. We got Vidi, Tapahera. This is always a fun fight. There's no goo, so he's kind of just chilling. You can go, beat the mess out of him with the hammer like Mega was trying to do. Just the eyeballs don't really like when you do that.
But the capacity upgrades on the arrows are kind of nice. He is spending all of his arrows, though.
You got to do what you got to do. All right, moment of truth on azder's side. It is a Moth. It is not an Argus, so that's great news for him. Not really wasting any time in a way by coming here. It's something that has to be done. And Moth is pretty defenseless inside or outside of his own domain.
And we'll come back in a minute to check on Megawatt. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, a nice little strat there for Megawatt that I picked up on. He was sitting in a position where when Vitreous would bounce upward, he would hit the pits and not actually be able to come up and hit him without getting into range of that hammer hitbox. Very heads-up play there.
Okay, so Megawatt is going to do the coffee break. Let's hope he remembers Spike Cave while he's up here. Otherwise, he orphans the big key, azder orphans the hook shot, and you never know what's going to happen at that point.
I don't really see him skipping that. I'm kind of getting a little concerned here. I'm wondering if azder maybe thinks he did full clear ice and just kind of left that. But I think this is his last check, honestly. And then he'll have to go back to ice.
Yeah, because the Hera Big and the Ether Medallion were both in the back of Swamp.
That they were. azder has not checked Lumberjack, so I think this is probably a Lumberjack play. All right, Megawatt headed over to now. This I'm kind of jumping to conclusions a little too quick. I was worried about that spike cave, but this makes total sense.
Yeah, no,
he could do hook shot. I forgot about that.
You don't want to have to walk out of Spike Cave. That's why I was more worried that he might forget it, because he's going all the way over to Hookshot Cave, and then he'll have to remember to go back for Spike Cave, and he gets dead rocked.
Yeah, great enemy.
To answer chat, Hookshot was in Ice Tea Room, which azder either intentionally or accidentally skipped while he was doing Ice Palace.
Here we go. Oh, and there's the cane inside of Hookshot Cave and the ice rod.
So that is our item go mode, and I think with we just need Meyer Big Key and another pod small.
Well, okay, so Megawatt is dipping into TR now without that big key. This, I mean, I haven't timed stuff like this. This is good for Shack Tools because this kind of gives azder a little bit of breathing room to kind of maybe get back in this because he's already gotten that chain of the EP big to the TR big. Now, I'm drawing a blank on where the small key discrepancy between our two runners for Turtle Rock came from. That might have been back of Swamp, but we'll see.
I think back of Swamp. But yeah, Megawatt coming in here without the big key is kind of unfortunate. And he can't even save his portal because he's beaten Aga and has the mirror, and yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Without that big key, he's not going to be going very far. But, you know, just thinking of time that's going to be spent inside the dungeon.
I mean, with this many small keys, he can go as far as Mimic Cave.
Yeah, he could definitely go there. So there's no point in saving a portal, really. I mean, it saves a little bit of time, but I wouldn't stress too hard about trying to save any portals, even if Aga wasn't beaten, at the Mimic Cave spot. All right, there's our pod key, so we could clear it. And there's a key to this dungeon, so there's all 4 of our Turtle Rock keys. That gives us...
So we can do Lava Chest.
Yeah, I was about to say this gives us access to Lava Chest, but that's not the logic. It's just kind of how runners treat this.
I mean, Lava Chest logically requires all 4 keys.
Yeah, I mean, the back does too. I'm just saying, like, the implication there is just how runners treat it.
Yeah, if you're a Shack Tool fan, you're basically hoping after all this Megawatt forgets about Spike Cave while he's up here.
It's going to be a little bit of a pain to go back to, if I'm being honest, but he doesn't really have a whole lot left. So he could just save quit or flute to 1, go back up and do it. I kind of expect that to happen, honestly. The only other thing Megawatt really could do is take that pod small and go beat pod. I don't really think that's a smart idea, though.
Right. I mean, he still doesn't have the Meyer Big Key, so the cane isn't going to help him there.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so we've got one more check that Megawatt can do, and that is Mimic Cave, and yeah, then given he'll be outside again, he'll just have to mirror and flute somewhere. Meanwhile, azder is going to find the absolute treasure trove we had in the back of Swamp.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like azder probably feels behind. I'm not sure how Megawatt would feel right about now, to be 100% honest. Everything's kind of been, I guess, in a way, a little bit linear. I wouldn't say he should feel behind in any stretch. That's a big key to Meyer. Oh, so he might be headed there. Ooh, wee.
So he can do Meyer. He has access to the boss of Pod. He can't do anything else without any further Pod small keys. Yep, he's going to Meyer. I mean, eventually he's going to have to be funneled over to Spike Cave.
Yeah, there's not a lot left. That opened up 2 checks for him. He can check the big chest, he can check the boss. And after that, it's either he goes back to Pod and spins a key, or, you know, he just goes and does Spike Cave, which I think he'll do Spike Cave in that regard. Unless he starts sweating Left Side Swamp. I think Left Side Swamp's the last location for him. That being said, like, there's not really, you know, any reason for him to go back. It's garbage, but this is a time where he might be a little bit concerned about it.
Yeah, no, I think he goes to Pod so that he can do Green Pendant turn in as well.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Oh, there's another Pod key, so...
That might actually push him there now.
Which means he can do either Vanilla Big Key Chest or Harmless Hellway.
And beat the boss, yeah.
Right. I mean, he can do both of them and not beat the boss, but I don't think he'd want to do that. I mean, he could always save Scum too, but with Red Mail, that's kind of rough.
Maybe we get another Pod key here on the boss. You don't ever know. It would be exciting.
So, who haven't we seen yet? Lanmo, Argus, and Trinex, and of course, we haven't seen any duplicates yet, so any boss could be down here.
All right, there's Ether for Azder. So, what do we do now if you're Azder?
And looks like Megawatt did not get Spooky Glitch here. So Ashter's now going to do Hera, and he'll do Hookshot Cave, and he'll probably just full clear TR since he has the big key.
Yeah, I think maybe the TR small was in Hera, and if that's the case, then yeah, he could full clear it. And then he'll be in, I guess is that Go Mode? Or Go Mode sans Silvers?
Yeah, there is that little matter of the Silvers, though. You know, if we don't get them, we can always drop into Gan and go through 3 phases and see what he has to say. So that Megawatt goes to Pod now. No, he's doing 5-6. Big bomb.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. This is a good routing call to do this on the way to Pod.
And since he's beaten Aga, he can go the fast way. Azder, I'm sure, overjoyed with that shield.
Yeah, opting to do that risky bomb strat. I know the bonk makes it easier, but it does have hook. It's when you're running like this, it's super hard in my mind sometimes to remember, hey, I've got this item and it's convenient to use.
Yeah, hook plus boots. If you have hook and boots, that's by far the easiest way to do it. Wow, this is quite a way to position yourself and just let the eyeballs fly to you. I'm not sure I've seen this strat before.
Using the upper level, sometimes you can make it where Vidi never spawns into phase 2. It's a little slower, but it's safer. And then you can just spam the hammer on him. So there's our mirror shield and another quote-unquote sword with that green 20 showing up there. And it does look like Vidi did get on the move on Azder's side, but does have enough arrows to wrangle him in.
So we're now even on dungeon count.
Yeah.
This is getting interesting. Other than, after this, I don't see how Megawatt doesn't get funneled to Spike Cave.
Yeah. Hold the book.
That's how Megawatt doesn't get funneled to Spike Cave, except that Ether Tablet's up there, so he has 2 checks.
Yeah. That'll incentivize that. Bombo's tablet also on the table.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, there are now 2 checks right near each other, and he goes up the mountain for Ether and Spike.
I'll be very honest. I'm curious to see what the gap is. I think Azder might, depending on how much the book and stuff lead Megawatt away. Once this kind of all washes out, so to speak, I'm curious to see what the gap is. I think it's going to be still in favor of Megawatt, just really dependent on the the stuff with the book. All right, so Azder getting his cane and ice rod here inside of Hookshot Cave.
Azder's got to be in go mode by the time he finishes Turtle Rock, except for the silvers, right?
That's the case, most likely, but there's still weird possibilities. We could see the book leading to our silvers, and then there's a big chance maybe that Azder doesn't check that initially. Just because, to get the book, I mean. Just because I can't imagine he feels ahead. That's just my analysis.
Right, but I wonder how Megawatt feels at this point still, feeling kind of far from go mode. He's 2 big keys short.
Yeah.
But because he got that hook shot sooner, and the boot sooner for that matter, he's been able to do more efficient routing overall than Azder. So even if he's last locationing the Eastern Big Key...
oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's our second Moldorm.
Interesting, Azder skipped the torches.
Which was a pod key, yes?
It was a pod key, and I want to say it was a vanilla TR key as well.
Oh, that's true. Where was Meyer Big? That was in Mimic Cave?
It was. So there's no reason for him to really skip that. I mean, if he does, I'd say that's pretty much it. But we'll see.
Okay, here's Megawatt going back up the mountain.
All right, so this will give us our Ether Tablet check, most likely. And then our Spike Cave check. Because I can't think of anything else in the game that would actually lead Megawatt away from this.
I mean, the only other things he has is Bombo's Tablet and Left Side Swamp, right?
Yeah.
And Ped, we haven't seen what's on Ped.
I guess that's true. He's gotten all the pendants. There's nothing that's gonna. Okay, let me word it this way. We see $20 there, so he's doing Spike Cave right now. There was nothing there that could lead him away from doing this check at this point in time.
Okay, now Azder has his mirror out, and he will get his Meyer big key. Where did Megawatt get his 4th pod small key from? Now I don't. Oh yeah, it was in Meyer, right?
Yeah. All right, so there's the Eastern Big. So Megawatt obviously going to be heading there very soon. There's the Meyer Big for Azder. Azder in effective go mode, so to speak.
Well, no, he still needs his pod small key. We just know he's going to get it out of Meyer, just as we know Megawatt's going to get the TR big key out of Eastern.
It's crazy how this has kind of all come down to this given point in time.
And then, I mean, I'm guessing, like, you kind of have to, even in Megawatt's position as he's about to hit go mode, you kind of have to do Laser Bridge in case the silvers are there. You really don't want to go back for them there. But you don't. I'm thinking you skip GT Basement altogether. And then if Ganon says, "Did you find the arrows in my tower?" you go back for them. But what do you think?
Oh, it's tough. It depends on how ahead or behind I might feel, and how much I've checked. It's depending on what Azder skips down the line. If he skips anything down the line, it's a better bet for Megawatt to check the basement, I would think. But then again, you know, it's really a rolling of the dice.
But Megawatt is now officially the first of our runners in Silver's mode.
Okay, Azder left one chest. That's a bold strategy. I mean, I'm just, that's a bold strategy, but this is what we call feeling behind.
But yeah, I think Megawatt definitely has the lead at the moment, but it really depends where silvers turn up.
Absolutely.
And there's finally Argus. So, Trinex is in GT. Maybe it's Ice Trinex. Hopefully the silvers aren't behind Ice Trinex.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
we're not going to speculate on that. Look, we got a boss kill there on Megawatt's side. That's another crystal. That's his next to last crystal. So now he just needs to head to Turtle Rock and go ahead and finish that dungeon up.
Ah, nice Ice Rod strats on Azder's part.
I really want to know what's in that 4th chest on the laser bridge. I know you guys do too, but holy moly, that's wild.
I have to imagine Megawatt will do all of Laser Bridge. I mean, he's already done everything in the first half of TR.
All right, so Azder leaving, meaning he is leaving a key. I don't remember where that other pod small was.
Either in the big chest or on the boss.
I don't think it was on the boss. I think it was on the big chest, and I don't see him going over to big chest. I kind of feel like he's going to rush the boss if if Laser Bridge was any indication.
Well, he's gonna need. I mean, there are 2 other pod smalls. Who knows where they are? Maybe they're in GT.
This is what a wild race this has been.
This is what you get with AD keys.
Azder using Kane strats there.
Yeah, always interesting to see different runners' tastes. Like Megawatt was definitely into the bow strats, and Azder doing the Kane strats.
All right, so Azder's doing a few checks here. Just a heart piece on the bridge. I forgot what these items are. If he doesn't do big chest, it doesn't really matter though, so. There was nothing else of value.
Oh yeah, that was our last GT small. Yeah, and he's going to the back. Yeah, so Azder has skipped the 2 outstanding pod smalls that we know of, and there are 2 others that we don't know of.
Yeah, watch if a pod small shows up on Laser Bridge in that last chest, I'm gonna lose it. I'm sorry. I just, and that's not from the aspect of me, wanting any particular runner to win. It would just be, that would be the most unfortunate thing that could actually happen for Azder at this given time. Just because he's managed to, trying to cut time down from the hook fiasco. He has, skipped the right side of Turtle Rock and appears to not be full clearing Mire.
And like Megawatt, he didn't get Spooky Glitch either. Oh yeah, Megawatt has the mirror shield, so he has an easy time with Laser Bridge.
All right, guys. Moment of truth right here, right now. It's a compass.
So Azder has to find some way to pull a pod small key out of a hole in the ground or something.
All right, so Megawatt's got a full pod clear lead on Azder, the way this is kind of shaking out. That, and he's probably, depending on how quick this fight goes for Mega, he's going to get a GT first. Maybe. If he keeps getting the doubles, he will, for sure. I keep forgetting how long the mountain climb is.
Of course you say if he keeps getting the doubles and then look what happens.
It happened 10 minutes ago, right? I mean, we're just watching the excitement unfold now.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, they're going to be in GT right around the same time. Megawatt also trying the Ice Rod strats, but not quite as efficiently as Azder, but he gets it down.
All right, so that's the final crystal for Megawatt. So Azder is going to get into GT first, but the thing to keep in mind, that does not mean he is in the lead. The whole pod fiasco wears another pod key for Azder, and the time investing to clear it, that's a big unknown for us at the moment.
I mean, I have to imagine those 2 remaining pod smalls are in GT, because where else could they be?
Oh, absolutely. Like, they have to be here somewhere, but how convenient are they going to be? Like, we've already got the GT big. If Azder just flies up
Azder also skipped Pyramid Fairy.
He did, yes. All right, he's actually doing some basement checks. We'll see what Mega's idea is here.
Mega also going for the basement, but the other side.
This makes more sense on Mega's side, in my mind, just because he's cleared everything. So silvers have to be here, right?
Ped.
I guess that's true. Oh, there's a pot small. Oh, baby.
Okay, so now both runners are hunting for silvers, but obviously, you know, Megawatt has a lot fewer remaining checks outside of GT than Azder does. Really, outside of GT, Megawatt has Ped, Bombos, and left side Swamp, right?
Say that one more time. Oh, God,
And
there's
shovel.
a shovel.
So Megawatt.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Megawatt's not worried about left side Swamp. The only way he would be worried about that really losing him time is if Ganon says they're there, which they're not. We know that from our vantage point.
Yeah, right. There's also, chat's pointing out, Megawatt can now get at Harmless Hellway once he picks up that extra pod small.
Yeah, very true, very true. Though they could still be in pod. Oh, nope, there's another pod small. I think that's all of them. So we found all of them.
Yeah, we did.
Unbelievable. This game is wild.
Hey, there's our fourth sword.
Oh, we got the big key to Skullwoods.
We never did see that swamp big key either.
Oh, God.
So the number of outstanding locations is rapidly increasing.
Yeah, that it is. It wouldn't be 80 keys without some kind of weird crap happening here at the end.
Hey, health refill.
I guess that's nice. All right. Moment of truth.
Ice Trinex?
Ice Trinex. I hope not. Look, for these guys' sake, they've been through enough tonight. Let them rest. Let them not have this. Okay. We can all breathe
Ice
a
Landmo.
collective sigh of relief.
Which means Trinex is in the Landmo room.
It is, yeah. And that's much better than Ice Trinex swordless. I'm sorry.
And Moldorm Arena has to have Vidi Moth or Helma.
So that's basically going to be it. And Mega is going to be picking that up too. Silver's in hand. Mega's going to have a lead coming out of here.
Pretty considerable lead.
Yeah, because Azder will have to go back through pod.
So, chat, I guess the only remaining thing particularly to guess in here is who that boss in the Moldorm Arena will be. Will it be Vitreous, Mothula, or Helmasaur?
You could start a prediction, Drosy. Come on, right?
Yeah, except it's only a two-way prediction, so, I mean, I guess we could say Helma or not Helma. What else was Megawott
I guess that's
find there? Like, I mean, I guess Cape could kind of be useful. I'm just trying to figure out why he bothered opening those 2 remaining chests.
It's muscle memory, for sure. All right, so both runners doing the climb. It feels so weird watching a race and seeing someone be ahead of the other one, but knowing that they're actually behind just because of the, you know, the dungeon disparity. This is what happens in GT with AD a lot of times. All right, here we go. Trinex. Inland Mode 2, the fire bar or the fire shooter not being cooperative today, and we are gonna get some fireballs.
At least
it despawns and doesn't shoot.
At least the ice shooter can't actually lay down any ice outside of the vanilla Trinex room.
Yeah, and I mean we've already got rid of the left head, but you know, luckily when he spits fire, it's not too bad.
I hope Megawatt's watching his magic there. I mean, he's got to know by, you know, process of elimination that it has to be Trinex up here.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
And yeah, Megawatt's only about 3 rooms behind azder right now. I love how Trinex kind of left his feet in the antechamber.
Yeah, it's something about that like super tile. It's just a little weird. Oh, azder having to go back down okay, well, I've never seen the feet spawn there. That's new. I mean, I've never walked back down. That's new. I'm glad I learned something. I like to try and learn something every single day, and here we are. We've learned something. Oh yeah, so azder still had that red goo, making use of that now. Megawatt in phase 2 of Trinex. Just needs 5 hammer hits. Sometimes Trinex gets a little out of control, getting in, you know, all excited, but manages to land all 5 of those.
Yeah, I'm only seeing Trinex just fell in this room rather than his feet. Yeah, one annoying thing about Swordless, you just can't charge through the rooms we're used to charging through.
Yeah. Also, chat pointing out, oh, looks like it's Vitreous. Chat pointing out how close azder was to getting the famous jingle glitch where you go up the ladder on the same frame that the door closes, and if you do that, the whole tower despawns, and you can't beat it unless you mirror. Or save and quit, but mirroring would be the ideal thing to do here. azder opting for some hammer hits there, probably to save some arrows in case maybe he misses against... Oh no, he's got a helmet.
Megawatt missed one of the torches. I'm not sure I've seen someone miss that torch before.
It happens.
I mean, anything that can happen will eventually happen, right?
Yeah. Megawatt struggling a little down the stretch, but does have a comfortable enough lead where I don't think that's going to matter at all. Aga 2 here for azder.
Yeah, and that arrow capacity upgrade will serve him well too, because you can see Azder's a bit low on arrows and is going to have to watch out as he goes through pod to make sure he has enough for Ganon. Megawatt, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Agatu down for Azder first. We're getting the good Agatu strats here. Using the bug net, using the dash to increase the amount of time the hitbox is out. I approve of this wholeheartedly.
Other than it doesn't seem to be working too well so far.
The patterns have been kind of... Well, now he swapped back to hammer, so...
And that didn't work too well either. Oh, nice. Double with the bug net. I think Megawatt's at about 4. There we go.
All right. Ganon should be easy. All right, so if you've never played Swordless, this is how this is going to work, guys. Obviously, the hammer does tempered sword damage in the overworld, so therefore the devs have made it where it does tempered sword damage to our friend the pig. And we need, 12 hits for phase 1, 12 hits for phase 2, 1 hit in each part or each stomp of phase 3, and then 4 silver arrows to finish it off in phase 4. So barring any shenanigans, this is definitely Megawatt's race to lose. We'll see how this goes.
Nice Samaria block set up there, because there's no way to avoid recoil from the hammer when you're doing Swordless Ganon. But yeah, given how quickly Azder's going to the back, this could wind up close if Megawatt takes a Ganon fall.
It's possible. You got to also keep in mind he does have a blue goo. Did buy that earlier, so that's going to help him out here. You got to keep in mind that Azder has to get through this fight too, and if you look, he is on 1 silver arrow.
Oh, I didn't... Right, because he had to get past the mimics. So I'm surprised he didn't, grab the arrows that are under the pot in there to make sure he had enough. That is 1 hit, and gets the torch glitch.
Gets a double, and that's gonna do it. Phendrana survives. The first time they've been in any threat of losing, and pulling it out here in game 5. Get your GGs for Megawatt of the Phendrana Drifters, moving on to finals.
Yeah, and he records an official time of 2:06:46, right before Azder gets that red pendant.
Azder's going to have to come up with some arrows, or we're doing the credits speedy mix.
Guess we'll find out what was on the ped. Oh, that's where the cape was.
It's a heckin' zoom we got going on. We'll see if Mega wants to join us. Speaking of Mega, there he is. Yo, GG.
Hey, thanks.
So, nice casual swordless AD keys. Tell us your thoughts.
Overall, it just felt like a really gross seed. I can't think of any item in particular that held me up a whole lot. Maybe the hook shot. I kind of got bottlenecked into that, which was a hard required, or well, not hard required, but required for me. dip into Ice Palace without the Canis Amaria, which felt pretty gross, and it's probably the most gross thing I felt the seed had to offer, despite the fact that like all of it was just nasty.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Azder taking a death here. So we're gonna have to restart. Oh nope, it has fairy. We're good. Never mind. And since we do know the result, we do have Azder here with us now. While the delay catches up, GG.
Azder, I can see you lighting up. I can't hear you.
I'm not saying anything.
Oh
No. GG's Azder.
GG.
Yeah, so overall, just a crazy seed. So Megawatt, I don't know if you guys were I didn't really read you guys' conversation. The big story for the seed here, or for the race, was unfortunately Azder left the hook in ice. And then, yeah, but he managed to get to those keys before you, so things got a little interesting coming down out of the stretch. Azder made a couple of good skips. I'll say that he skipped the pod keys that you had found in Meyer and TR, which made it like kind of a sweating, but then we knew they were going to be in GT somewhere, just where we didn't know. And then getting bailed out. But by that point, with Silver's having to be there, on the path, it kind of is, what sealed the victory for you. But at any point, so start with Megawatt, I guess, how are you feeling, coming down the stretch? Like, what was your mental state like? Just because, you get close to 2 hours in any 80 keys, whether it's swordless or not. I feel like there's a little bit of sense of urgency coming down to it. Or am I right there? Or you can take it.
Oh, and it wasn't just down the stretch. Like this whole past 2 hours and almost 10 minutes, I was nervous as get out. I mean, my entire team's tournament life is riding on this game, so of course I'm going to be ridiculously nervous.
Yeah, it's totally understandable. I know where you're coming from with that.
I really feel safe, but yeah.
And honestly, the part that I would say was most touch and go for you was that you kept getting pulled away from Spike Cave, because we were thinking, oh, he'll do Spike Cave after he does Hookshot Cave, and then you found all this stuff for TR, and then you went into TR, and then you went to Meyer, and then Pod, and so we were wondering if that was going to cost you, but
yeah,
you wound up making it back there in time.
I'm just glad that the TR big key was in the eastern big chest. Otherwise, that would have been a nasty rabbit hole. Because I almost last location my way back to left side swamp with the eastern big key anyway. So TR big key being in eastern was a nice little bailout. So I actually got away with the one skip I did this seed.
So Azder, I have to ask. Was the skip of Ice-T a calculated one? Was that just something you were trying to hedge a bet on that just didn't work out, or was it a potential oversight? Tell us your thoughts and then kind of your mindset of what you were trying to accomplish, going down the stretch there.
Yeah, so my bomb count in ice ended up being really, really bad, and I realized I don't have hookshot to do the hookshot clip to the ice chest. I have to bomb the floor, or so the big chest. Sorry, and I'm just well, I got the big key in here. I really would rather see what's in there.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And then at that point, I already felt behind because of leaving Mitts in Thieves Town. I was just kind of going to see how that went for me because I felt behind at the start, and I feel like it's an easy bait to go down there. In boss shuffle with the keys to Thieves Town. So close. Sorry, keys to Thieves Town were super early, but there was also a lot of other stuff to do. So I'm okay, maybe it's bait. So I knew I missed Mitts there, and that cost me a little bit of time just having to re-enter Village of Outcasts. But I did feel a little bit behind from that, and I'm just I have to make a skip somewhere, right? And the fact that I got put in a position where going to Ice-T was in super slow was okay, it's better for me to not do this.
Yeah. And we were like, a little reason I asked it the way I did, we were speculating maybe you forgot it, or maybe it was a calculated gamble. So I wanted to clarify with you, after the run. And I'm assuming, you got bailed out there. We knew from our vantage point that the pod keys were going to show up somewhere in GT, but there were two kind of a little off the beaten path. There was one over on that right side of TR that you skipped. So your skips down the stretch paid off, and it made this pretty close. But just unfortunate for you guys in Shack Tools. You guys have had a heck of a run. And taking Findrana to 5, giving them their first 2 losses of the season is nothing, to discredit in any way or shape or form. So congrats on making top 4 in y'all's first. First season in the league, and being an invitational at that. So GG's to you, Aussie, and Hitaka.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the invite. It was fun. And I think the skips that I tried to do, aside from forgetting my arrow situation at the end, that was really frustrating because I tried to save arrows and then I was like, wait, I can get them in pod. Wait. And then I didn't actually get them in pod. I didn't follow through. But aside from that, my skips towards the end of the seed, I think I really, really wanted Silvers to be in GT, and for Megawatt to find a pod key somewhere else. So it's kind of the play I was making, and it worked out. It just wasn't enough at that point. I made some other mistakes too.
Yeah, just 2 items kind of, eluding you for a while that led to, more progression and such. It's just, unfortunate for you guys in the way that it panned out. Just you made this close, though, and I got to give you props for that. So, sticking to your plays or making a decision, say I'm going all in, could really respect that. Megawatt,
Okay.
I do want to... Go ahead, Drossi.
Oh, yeah, no, I just had a question for Megawatt, thinking back to the earlier game a bit. What decided you on Desert over Skull Woods after you, did Thieves Town and Smith Chain?
Desert over Skull Woods, I just kind of wanted to chase the mitts a little bit. Because I felt like where they were, I might get an advantage there. I don't know how Azder usually looks at routing the back of Thieves Town and Randomizer specifically. Just because when it's boss shuffle, the 3 items back there are kind of awkward to route in. But I decided to go straight in there because I got both keys within the first 20 or 30 minutes, which felt pretty suspicious to me. So I just wanted to chase those mitts as much as I could.
Yeah, got it. I mean, you got the boots from it. You just also had to double dip Desert. That's why I was wondering.
I'd compare a trade-off if you ask me, honestly.
Double dip Desert was not bad. I didn't feel great when I saw those boots, but I didn't feel like it was over either. I spent the whole seed making the best of what I had.
Yeah, well, I mean, in your case, because of where the Titans mitts were, you couldn't get the boots sooner, even though you had the small key to Desert out of Skull Woods pretty quickly.
Yeah, I really had no idea whether he had gotten mitts, on time or not. But the hook shot for sure was really bad. And my hope at the end was that really the most out of the way thing in the entire seed, I think, was the Eastern Big Key and Spike Cave, and apparently that was a bit of a problem. So I still had some hope.
I think the only things I had left before picking that up were an out of logic pedestal, Bombos tablet, and then left side swap.
Yeah, you had basically full cleared the game at that point. There was some speculation of what could Megawatt have to go to next. We talked about Ped, but at best that could be Silvers, and you could get that from a Ganon hint because you had cleared the Light World.
Right.
So everything you did made sense. Especially from your vantage point. But now you guys are headed to finals of the Invitational League. How you feeling going against Triple Dino Disaster?
I'm pretty hyped. I'm good friends with a few of the guys on that team, so I'm really looking forward to some of the matchups we're going to have in the next couple of weeks. And on top of just being in the finals, being absolutely surreal. I'm not going to say I didn't think we'd ever get this far, but finally being this far is a pretty amazing feeling.
Yeah, just 3 wins away from a title for either one of those teams. That's kind of going to be the storyline over the next 2 weeks. You guys in chat don't want to miss this. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun to watch, I think. But yeah, any final thoughts? I've talked you guys' ears off, and I'm pretty sure Rick's about to kick us out of the booth for me running my mouth. But any final thoughts from the runners?
I just want to say big thanks to Hitaka and Aussie for agreeing to team up with me, and I think we did really, really well. Especially like I looked over the roster for the Invitational, and we're the only new team that didn't have any members from a prior season. Because I think the other like new teams had at least one.
Yeah.
So I was actually kind of expecting to play in the Open, but.
And you guys came out of a tough division too. I mean, that was the division where it looked like it could be a 6-way tie well into the regular season.
Yeah, I think the first 3 divisions, like the divisions aside from Skullwoods, I think were really all over the place for most people in different ways. Drifters are kind of really set the pace for Skullwoods, and I felt like there weren't as many people in contention for second and third there, just because they were taking all the wins. But yeah, we did better than we expected, and shout outs to Tracy for supporting us a lot and trying to get on commentary for our races, and Polar Bear Bunny for being a really supportive girlfriend. Love you a lot.
Yeah, Tracy's been one of our more active commentators, and we do thank her for volunteering for that. And it's always nice when you've got somebody to support you, whether it be a friend or a significant other, to support the hobby. It's always fun to have that. So. Megawott, any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
I just want to say big shout outs, big GGs to Azder, Aussie, and Hitaka. It was a great honor playing against you guys. Like seriously, I was pretty nervous coming into these last 2 weeks, thinking like this is finally it. This is where we're gonna go down. Because like there were no more easy matchups at all once playoffs started, and that's a thought I had for Team Kappa as well, and a thought that was repeated these last couple weeks. So big shout outs to you guys. GG's. Taking this series all the way to Game 5 is super awesome. I'm glad we were able to do that.
Yeah, I think like Aussie got the only wins for us off of you guys, but I do think that like our match and Hitaka's match really could have gone either way until close to the end. So yeah.
So it could easily be either of our teams moving on to final tier.
Yeah,
it
was crazy. It was crazy the win streak that you had, and I was actually hoping that we could be the ones to end that. But I feel like
you certainly did.
Yeah.
Ended it twice.
Yeah. Just to note here, Jet's last loss prior to yesterday in league play had been week 1 of season 2.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
That's a pretty impressive streak right there.
So yeah, you guys ended a pretty amazing streak. So that in and of itself is an incredible accomplishment.
Yeah, I think Drosty mentioned if you include pilot races as far as being the pilot, Jet had an 18-game winning streak. And obviously this proves how much a team matters with the league, because if you guys know, Fendrana did not win Season 2, but Jet didn't lose. So that's kind of how that plays out, just to try and explain that a little bit. I guess Megawatt, I gotta throw this in there. I'm pretty sure you're glad that Sahabot didn't roll like a SMZ3 for you guys for this Game 5, right?
Oh boy, I'd get slaughtered if that happened.
Oh, okay. Well,
would I even bother to participate if that happened? I don't know, man. I feel like I did just given the hands on the Super Metroid side of things way too hard.
I did think it was a cool idea to make an SMC3 team for this, though.
Oh, definitely, and loved the name.
Oh yeah. All right, well, we've taken up so much time Speed Gaming's channel, so I'm going to wrap things up. But thank you guys for doing this super long interview of an amazing Game 5. Thanks for putting on the run for us. A big shout out to Bandman, who did all the tracking. Tracking's hard. Look, I did it one time. I made a bunch of mistakes. It's hard. So trackers are amazing, and I love you guys. Thanks for clicking all the buttons for us and helping us see what me and Drosy are yelling at. Drosy, it's been a pleasure. I'll give the final word off to you.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot, Dante. It's been a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to do this super exciting match. Once again, please remember to give a follow to these awesome runners here. And that'll do it here. Just keep your eyes peeled for the schedule. Obviously, none of the matches have been scheduled for next week yet, since we didn't know who was going to be playing in it. But yeah, check the schedule. Check out our Discord if you're not yet on it, because you'll get an idea that way as well. And thanks for watching, everyone.